Well, it's about the news here. UPS is taking to the skies, getting broad certification from the FAA to operate a drone airline. UPS Flight Forward can now bring its delivery program to campuses across the country, fly an unlimited number of drones, and travel beyond the pilot's line of sight. Joining us now is Scott Price, Chief Strategy and Transformation Officer for UPS. Scott, this actually began with hospital deliveries. Explain what exactly you're using for this program now.
You know, this is a really big deal. As you said, this is the first ever certification by the FAA. We are now officially a drone airline. So what that means is it builds on a number of firsts. We were the first ever to fly a revenue generating flight at WakeMed, which was in essence a hospital environment at campus. We're taking samples that traditionally had to be taken by car to the lab. We're now taking them by these predetermined drone flights. So with this certification, we can now fly multiple drones across multiple companies with multiple operators across multiple geographies, and importantly, scheduling multiple, so we can fly at night now. So this is a huge opportunity. We really do appreciate the trust shown to us by the FAA and the DOT.
Well, certainly early on in this journey at this point, but at what point do you think that this will have a material effect on the company's business?
So we will continue to build out in line with the FAA schedule. So the final rules aren't due until the end of 2021. There's a number of things that still have to be decided. What is going to be the detect and avoid process like you find in aircraft? What's going to be the altitude rules that are going along? What is going to be the air traffic control system? So by the end of 2021, the FAA plans on coming out with those rules. We see a number of use cases. The first is these campus environments, hospitals, colleges, et cetera. We believe there's great economics in it. We can move by drone cheaper than it is by moving it by a vehicle. We also see the ability to augment our drivers. We have many rural routes where a driver has to go 2 miles down a road to be able to drop a parcel. We're going to be able to send a drone from that vehicle while they continue on their route. Good question. It's a little early to speculate, hard to say, but we're probably several years away. It really depends on the FAA schedule.
Is UPS really ramping up its hiring of drone operators to control these drones?
Great question. We have a great organization. We have a number of operators today. Many of them are veterans, U.S. veterans with drone experience. But the fact is, this is a huge need. If you think about the questions around whether it ends employment, this is an employment opportunity. But we need technical colleges, we need universities to create certification programs around operators and maintenance, because much like the airline industry, safety is critical. So we are therefore focused very much on ensuring these formal programs exist.
Is this a way to combat in some ways climate change? Easier, for instance, than perhaps driving a vehicle or using an aircraft, right, to make some of these deliveries? Now, obviously, a traditional aircraft would be more long-haul deliveries, but we did a story earlier in the show that said people are going to be shopping in-store at brick-and-mortar locations more this holiday season because they want to lessen the impact on climate change with some of these shipping deliveries.
I think that it is a huge sustainability issue. As a company, we have a long history in focusing on sustainability. In terms of the ability to switch out, clearly a drone single delivery off of a battery will have less of a footprint. At what scale does that begin to tip the overall scales? Yet to be seen.
Do you think within our lifetime, the fleet of UPS aircraft, that the dozens of aircraft that you have around the world, do you think that will be replaced with UAVs?
Well, I hope our lifetime is equal, but I doubt it. You're considerably younger than I am, but you know, look, at the end of the day, it comes down to efficiency. So the idea that a payload of a cargo airplane that'll carry 10,000 packages can efficiently be replaced by 10,000 single units, to me, is a bit of a stretch.
Well, I guess what I'm asking also is about the idea of even airplanes being controlled from the ground by multiple planes on the ground being controlled by one operator.
Well, there are
no passengers on these planes.
Well, but there's going to be autonomous passenger aircraft. They're under development now. I've seen a few of those prototypes, as well cargo. So I think we see small feeder aircraft as the realm of the near possibility for us in terms of one of the use cases we're using. We fly 1 to 2 ton, a little bit higher than that, to rural or small cities. We believe that there are ground-based autonomous opportunities for those feeder flights in the near future.
How will this help you compete against Amazon?
So, you know, it's an interesting question. Look, you know, that is a huge industry that's explosive growth. Amazon is we have a good relationship with Amazon. It's not unusual for a company to begin to start to do part of the insourcing of their network. and we have a mutually beneficial relationship with them. But this is much more than just Amazon. The entire industry has explosive growth. We are the e-commerce provider of choice. We have end-to-end services, including returns, which is critical. People do not understand the importance of that return cycle. We believe that we will continue to be able to provide services and grow in this area.
Who else? Go ahead, Kristen.
I was just going to say, what are the challenges, right? As the Chief Transformation Officer, what are the challenges in operating this drone system?
So we have a very large-scale global network today. We see the drones as the ability to augment our growth, and we see our growth differently through the use of drones, as well our focus on healthcare, our focus on e-commerce, our focus on being able to help small and mid-sized businesses in the United States. So we see it as an enabler to our growth, not necessarily something that's going to completely transform the company on its own.
How are you thinking about the effect that these drones will have on people on the ground? Do you imagine us living in a world where the buzzing of drones is something that we've become used to, ferrying packages from one place to another?
So I think that's part of the issue today, is that everyone has in the mindset sort of the gaming environment that's existed up to now, which is drones are noisy. Future drones cannot be noisy. We have to be able to have contained rotors that not only improve the safety, but also reduce the noise impact. People will not be happy with a large scale, especially in urban areas, number of drones overhead that's a constant low pitch buzzing. That's going to be fixed as we go through this process so that that does not have as much impact.
If it means less honking on the road, with all those cars on the road, I'm a fan. Scott Price, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Scott's the Chief Strategy and Transformation Officer for UPS.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Good to see you.